most of your 20s will, in fact, be absolutely miserable. I remember when I was growing up, through my younger years, through my teen years, I thought that once I got to 20, life would just be a breeze. Life would be bliss. Life would be amazing. After graduating uni, I quickly realised that this was not the case. I feel like life has never been harder for a young person. You come out of uni at age 21, or sometimes age 23 in my case, because I went and did another degree. But you come out of uni age 21 to 23, and you're looking for a job, and there are no jobs available. And when you apply for a job that you did find, they say, "Oh, we're looking at your CV, this is great. We're looking for graduates with experience." And I'm just sitting there like, how can I possibly have experience in the chosen field of whatever I'm applying to if I haven't worked in it yet, if I'm just a graduate? Like, ask yourself, how is that possible? So, of course, finding a job is hard, interviewing for a job is hard, and then when you actually get to do the job, you do it, it's long hours, it's hard work, as most things are, especially if you work in healthcare, and it takes a lot from you, to the point where after a few years, at least in my case, I've been working a 9 to 5 as a physio in healthcare, and it's pretty draining, emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, all these things. I'll come home from work and I'll just be like, I need to work on my side hustles, I need to use the gym, but I just have no willpower left because it's all gone, it's been drained, sapped. To top it off, most jobs nowadays don't pay particularly well. So at 28, I'm still kind of broke and I live with my parents. And if I don't change things, I'm going to be here forever. I'm literally going to be like living with my parents until I'm 50. I don't know, maybe I can bring my future wife in here. My kids can live in this little room, which is like 4 meters by 4 meters. That is literally the state of the world right now. It's just so hard for young people. Rent prices are ridiculous. Cost of living crisis is ridiculous. Like shrinkflation. The other day I had a packet of turkey rashers from Tesco, Mattison's, by the way, really tasty, really great alternative to bacon. Lower in fat, very high in protein. £2.39. It used to be £2.39 for 8 rashers, and now it's £2.39 for 6 rashers. And I'm just like, what the actual... So you burn out pretty quickly in your 20s, and you're just living for the weekend. You're a zombie from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and then you come alive on Friday evening. You might go to the pub, not that I went to the pub, but most people go to the pub and get drunk on Friday evening, and they'll go out, and Saturday they'll wake up with a hangover at like 12 p.m, and their day starts really late, they get nothing done, they just waste that Saturday because they're hungover, and they might go out again on Saturday night, and then repeat the process, and on Sunday they're hungover, and Sunday's the lazy day, which is okay to have a lazy day, but it's not great if both your weekend days are lazy days. And then you get that dreaded Sunday afternoon or evening blues, right? You're like just dreading going to work on Monday, and you do it all over again. And this is the case for the next 40 years until you get to 65, and then you basically realize that you have 10 years until you kick the bucket. And that is for most people. Even if you break out of the matrix early and you're at 21 and you're like, cool, I'm going to have my own business, there's still a good 5 to 10 years. I mean, probably at least 3 to 5 years, maybe up to 10 years, where your life is miserable until your business takes off, until you're successful, right? And so I feel like expectations today of young men in particular are just so unrealistic. People expect us to have our shit together at 21, to be millionaires, to be living in our own house, to have cars, to not be working a 9 to 5. And it just frustrates me that this is the picture of society. This is what social media wants us to have, and social media is just so harmful in this sense. I just feel like you have two choices. You can either live it up in your 20s and like have nothing to your name by the time you're 30, maybe like £1 in your bank account, and you've got to start from scratch at 30, or you sacrifice your 20s and be a bit miserable, and then you can have a good life and you set yourself up for your 30s and your 40s. Either way, you're kind of miserable, because even if you live it up in your 20s and you go out partying, the next day you feel that massive crash, right? You get a massive spike of dopamine, and the next day you get a massive crash. That's no good. That's no good to anyone. And not to mention, the rest of your life from 30 onwards will be absolutely miserable. Or you can hustle and grind your 20s away, and it's still pretty damn miserable because you've wasted your 20s. Not wasted, but you've sacrificed them. So there's really like no middle ground, or it seems like there's no middle ground. And so I wanted to make this video just to tell you guys who are in your teens, who are not yet in your 20s, just know that it is going to be miserable, it's going to be uncomfortable, but that's okay. You need to figure out what you want to do, and you need to work hard at it. You need to find what you feel like is fulfilling and pursue it with everything. Because even though at the start it'll be miserable, it will get there. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Don't let anyone tell you what you can and cannot do, and don't let anyone try and stop you from pursuing your dreams. Life is far too short for that. I'll catch you guys in the next one.